Hello beautiful beings, and welcome back to the realm of inspiration. In today's video, we are connecting to the ancestry. I'm going to do a channeling with the Elfian Warriors of Divine Justice, who also work with karmic balance and can offer some assistance in understanding the influence of the ancestry on our present incarnation. I'm going to be channeling them to give insight into how the collective ancestry is affecting us all in this space and time. But before we do that, we are going to do a protection together. And this is a protection for revitalization. So, we're going to start by visualizing a beautiful, golden, luminous light above our crown chakra. And this golden luminous light is going to start blending with other lights. So close your eyes if you haven't already, and visualize this golden light blending with other lights. And this golden light is the golden Christed light. And then Archangel Raphael's healing light's going to come to it. Archangel Gabriel's diamond of clarity. Archangel Michael's protective light. Archangel Uriel's light of strength. The golden rainbow fire is coming. It is a fusion of all higher lights. You're going to see the flame of truth, a brilliant, bold, fiery orange, the violet flame. All higher lights, divine light, divine love, all higher lights, and this light is expanding around our crown and going up, 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 up to our divine gateway, and then coming down in a weaving pattern all the way through all of your chakras, down to the bottom of your feet. So have your feet firmly planted on the ground, all the way down to your earth star, from your crown to your third eye, to your heart, to your throat, to your heart, to your throat, to your heart. A balancing of the throat and the heart. From there to your solar plexus and sacral, solar plexus and sacral, balancing of the sacral and solar plexus to your root, and then your earth star, this luminous light, the most powerful fusion of all divine higher lights moving through you now, with the support of Source Creator, Heavenly Father above, Angelic Mother grounding, and your guardian angels. And visualize surrounding you, facing outwards, Archangel Michael's sword of truth to ensure that everything that comes your way is coming from a place of truth. No falsehoods, no lies, no deceit can find you. For you have Archangel Michael's cloak of invisibility that protects you from all evil and negative intentions. Just going to bring your attention back to the throat a little bit, because this is where the collective ancestry is experiencing some struggles. So I'm going to invite you, if you have a selenite or a kyanite or Himalayan salt, whichever is easier to access for you, to take it and place it at your throat. And take a few deep cleansing breaths. In your own pace. And when you're ready, with brilliance and boldness and affirmed protection from the divine, open your eyes, ground your feet, and we are going to ask the collective guardian angels and Archangel Gabriel to bring clarity to every message that comes through to us today for our highest good, for the betterment of our ascension, what we need to know, not what we want to hear. What we need to know. I'm just sitting with my Himalayan salts for a second, because oftentimes when you do a protection or an invocation, the thing that you skip by accident or forget is actually the thing that needs the most attention. So when I was invoking the higher lights, skipping the throat means that the throat needs the most attention. The throat chakra. And as a communicator, I gotta have my throat chakra aligned. Also related to the throat chakra is the ears as well. I am wearing citrine on my ears, so to bring strength to them and clairaudiency, and abundance, because citrine and abundance. So I'm gonna trade out crystals now, and I got Desert Rose Selenite with me. Desert Rose Selenite is a powerful crystal to use with the ancestry. And I have multiples of Desert Rose Selenite. I have little forms, I have big forms, and I have like a medium form, and then I have this big form. Feels like bigger work, bigger messages with the ancestry. So, I'm going to invite in now a Divine Feminine, Divine Justice Elfian Warrior. And I'm hearing a not ready yet, and for me to observe something. What I am observing outside the window in front of me was 2 sparrows, and one following the lead of the other. And this is following into safety. They're going into their nest. Following into safety, we might be out in the cold and need a guiding light into safety. So interesting theme to start this channeling. And one lone sparrow on her own, forging her own way, and the curiosity of another, trying to uncover what could be out in the daylight. Very interesting. So what could be out in the daylight for us? What is that message for us as a collective? As the year of the snake, the lunar year of the snake, comes to an end, and we are forging forward into the year of the horse, which is connected to our earth star chakra. I will link to this video. When I made a video a long time ago using, I don't know if I did channeling or clairaudience. The series Animal Healers, which connecting to the animals that help each chakra. I started by doing it as clairaudient messages, and then I switched to channeling when I felt comfortable doing channeling. So this is at the very beginning of my journey. I believe it was a channeling, and I'm going to link it since we're going to be entering the year of the horse soon. They help with the earth star, they help with the ancestry, and it might be that we're going to experience an upheaval of patterns and things that really need to be removed. And we've been doing that kind of like, building the roots, the foundation with the snake of clearing, and now it's going to be whatever we weren't able to get out, it's going to be ripped up. And that's going to be kind of that start, is ripping up what's left. So as we transition from the snake to the horse, it is a ripping up of the things that really need to be cleared and removed. So Divine Feminine Elfian Warrior of the Elfian Warrior domain, of the Elfian Realm, being of inspiration, eternal loving friend. When I have safely stepped back, dear being of higher divine energy, please step forth to guide the collective all in this space and time. Hello, beautiful beings. Our communicator is right. There is something with the throat chakra occurring. So we're gonna try and understand that. I am a Divine Justice, Divine Feminine Elfian Warrior of the Elfian Realm. There's also stuff with the third eye going on. There has been a third eye upgrade. Ascension symptoms. Third eye upgrade that also affects your sinuses when there is a third eye upgrade as they are connected. So some things shifting, starting to see things from a different perspective, changing the way you communicate, things not being communicated in the way that they should be. Fighting for your right to be where you are and who you are. So I work with Divine Justice, but an aspect of Divine Justice that I work with is specifically karmic balance, and specifically the karmic balance related to the ancestry. There are obviously different levels of what a Divine Justice Elfian Warrior works with, as we basically work to clear and cleanse and communicate for different aspects of karmic balance and justice. So some Divine Justice Warriors work directly with the archangels that are, communicators and protectors of justice. Some work with the karmic balance of just like your current incarnation, and like me, I work with the karmic balance of the ancestry. So with the ancestry, and this is where we can tap in as Elfian Warriors and understand your ancestry a little bit, which is a very cool thing because everyone's ancestry has a few different like patterns and messages, and sometimes it might come forth that you do have like an ancestor, guardian, or representative that is waiting at the veil for you. So it could be like a recently departed grandparent, or not recently, it would have been in the last 7 to 10 years departed, because it takes time for their soul to go through, their soul things after they depart. But it could be that, or that there is a great-grandparent who wants to undo a lot of the damage that was done by communicating to you things that you can do to change the story of the ancestry. And a lot of people right now are experiencing ancestral patterns that come with shame, jealousy, pride, paranoia, and a feeling of false injustice, which is related to pride. And there is some patterns of the more selfish expression. So let's explain these. Shame. Guilty conscience, shame. Feeling as though you have done something wrong when you have not done anything wrong. This can manifest as you're just going around your daily life and you feel shameful about a very unshameful thing. And the reason you are feeling that shame is not because the thing that you are doing is necessarily wrong, but it makes you question if someone would judge you for it. And when you open that door and that feeling, you allow the shameful feelings of the ancestry to come and express themselves through you. So you open the door for those feelings that have been trapped in your ancestry, trapped in your ancestral ley lines, patterns, lineage, to come through you, and you to take on this feeling of shame because you allowed it in by being afraid of the judgment of others. And this can also come through when you judge another, where the jealousy pattern starts to come forth, and then suddenly you feel consumed by jealousy. And this can also come forth when you make a decision that you know is more self-serving than helping others, and it's not a self-serving that is helping you, but it is in a way hurting others more than it is helping you. That is where this pattern of the selfish can come through, and the pride and the arrogance. When you take certain actions, you open the door for feelings that have not been processed in your ancestry to find you, and then you wonder why you're feeling icky or weird, or why are you feeling paranoid all of a sudden? Because when you open that door, you let yourself ponder, even for a second, the possibility of something that is not real, but is fearful. That paranoia from the ancestry finds you. And this is something that is within the footprints of your ancestors in your DNA. So it's like in your chemical makeup as a soul. You can access your ancient wisdom as a soul. And you can access your ancestry's story. And that could be gifts and abilities. This can also be the burdens of the ancestry. And a lot of times, those who feel it more intensely are those who are meant to break those patterns. But you have to identify it. This is another level of empathic abilities. This is another level of clair empathicness. Clair empathicness is another variant of the clairs, the gifts, the clairvoyancy, clairaudiency, claircognizance. There are 10 of them. And clair empathicness is something that is very complex, but it is also something that is experienced more often than you think. Now, it is a version of empathicness. What makes it a clair empathicness is, as all of the clairs, it has to do with something beyond the veil, as well as in the present moment, but mainly beyond the veil. You have the empathicness where you are empathically feeling maybe someone's pain, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling a shooting pain in my right side as I am channeling a message. That could mean that there is something going on with the paternal ancestry of the client. There is this. But that is more of the empathic ability. That has levels of clair empathicness, but the deep depth, the true depth of clair empathicness is feeling from beyond the veil. So that would be feeling emotions or experiences like paranoia that is coming from beyond the veil. And the only way that you would feel it so intensely is if it's coming from your ancestry. Now, clair empathicness from beyond the veil that has to do with delivering messages of those beyond the veil, it's not going to be this intense feeling that kind of consumes you. That it's a passing, fleeting feeling. But clair empathicness related to your ancestry, it's going to be more intense. Because you have the physical body connection. Physical body connection. This means that you can clair empathically feel things stronger from your ancestry. This also means that if there is someone in your lineage at the verge of death, at the veil, on the verge of death, that if you have this specific level of clair empathicness, and all of you have this clair empathicness, especially those of you who are cycle breakers, that you might feel something that they're feeling, or hear a little bit of that clairaudiency. This is the clairs related to the ancestry. It's a different level, different aspect. What they are thinking and feeling in those moments at the veil line, whether you are estranged or not. So what this can mean for the collective ancestry is that now a lot of clair empathicness related to the ancestry is awakening, because it is time to undo the past, but also undo the toxic patterns of the past, but also acknowledge the things from the past that were better. So this has to do with technology advancements and consumerism, that there were some simplicities of the past that might be better to go back to bring grounding and a detachment to the materialistic reality. But then, to undo the toxic patterns can be that of judgment and control. A lot of you humans are rebelling against control and making choices and decisions that are not necessarily in alignment with your soul, even if you trick yourself into thinking so. It is an act of rebellion against the reality that you have been living in because something doesn't resonate and you think changing something about yourself drastically is going to make things seem better. That is not necessarily always the case. When you feel intensely the intensities of the reality and society that you are living in. You are just a sensitive soul. And that doesn't mean that changing everything about yourself is going to take away from this ability that you have, this sensitivity that you have to the reality of the situations around you. These feelings that you feel in regards to the situation of the reality around you can bring clarity and understanding to what you are meant to do on a deeper soul level and what patterns are meant to change and what patterns are meant to evolve from where they are. Not everything needs to change. Okay? Not everything needs to change. There are some simplicities of life that need to evolve. This is connection to the earth, agriculture, and animal life, specifically. To heal the relationship, to connect to the ancestors who lived and worked with the land, unfazed by the materialistic, technological, capitalistic society that the earth has turned into. Those ancestors want to work with you to reconnect to the land at its core, which is a home to all and belongs to none. No one has claim over the land. You are all meant to protect the land, for your beings of life, and therefore it is your sacred duty from the guardian of life, source, creator, to protect life. That means nature, animals, plants, agriculture, and people who are living. And tell the stories of those who have departed. And there was a time where death was a sacred journey and not something to be afraid of. And you have ancestors in your lineage who did not fear death, but embraced it as a sacred journey of the soul. Those you should connect with. Because when you fear something, especially death, when you allow yourself to linger in negative thoughts, you open the door to empathically feel all of the unprocessed negative experiences and emotions of your ancestry. Now, this can be a good thing in the sense that if you recognize it, you can transmute it for your ancestry and let it go. But there are generations and generations of toxicity in everyone's ancestry. And this toxicity is control, manipulation, control to extremes, paranoia, selfishness, pride, shame, identity. There was a whole period of time in the human incarnation where all humans cared about was their status and identity and keeping that status, that title. This fuels the ego. And a lot of people broke free from that. But there is that pattern in the ancestry. So how to break it starts with you. The biggest message from the ancestry is you do not need to do dramatic things. You don't need to do extraordinary things just to break a tiny cycle. You don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is consciously decide every single day to change your mindset. And that is enough. To let go of judgment. To let go of shame. That is the key. The fear of being perceived in a way that does not match the majority. That is what must be overcome in this time. And that is the biggest lesson of the upcoming lunar year. At this time, these are the final messages from the ancestry, but I will come back again throughout the year of the horse to deliver updates from the ancestry to you all, as it is important to reclaim your power and truth, and in doing so, bring healing to the collective ancestry so that more peace can find its way to Earth. And a lot of this also begins by healing the human relationship with the Earth and her creatures. Goodbye for now. Thank you all. I'm feeling from the Elfian that like she didn't really want to stop, that she had more to say, but it's just, this is the time. And that she doesn't want to forget to congratulate all of you on, and all of us, on all of the progress that we have made. There is this narrative that we are not doing enough. You know, there is this, we're working for something. When is this next golden age going to happen? And the Elfian Realm is very adamant that it's not going to happen in the next 5 years. It's going to take time. Because before that happens, we have to learn how to live in the reality that we are living in, but live as a soul within a body. And there is this, you got to keep working for it, you got to keep working for it mindset. And a lot of the visuals I was being shown, maybe is related to what she was saying, maybe not. I can't remember everything. But a main visual that I was being shown is we have done so much, we have done a lot so far, and that in this period of time, before February 17th, when the Year of the Horse begins. So this video will come out beginning of February, and basically for the rest of this month, until the 17th, we celebrate what we have accomplished thus far, visuals of celebration, because we don't want to feel like we haven't made progress, because we have made transformative progress. And when we celebrate how far we have come and have gratitude for it and connect to that deeper spiritual joy, that is when we allow and invite in more healing to our ancestry and to ourselves. So don't forget to celebrate how far you have come. And I struggle with this as well, so I'm going to take this time as well to celebrate how far we have come. In my mind, even just thinking of when I did the video for the horses with the Earth Star chakra versus where I'm at now, there is a lot to celebrate in that time frame, especially with my ancestral healing as well. So to celebrate, and then once the Year of the Horse begins, we can start again. But every time we feel a shift, every time we feel a change, like for me, every time I challenge the ego when it comes through to try and bring that paranoia to me, when I'm in a safe space, when I'm in that moment of I am truly on the precipice of some great enlightening moment, epiphany is the word I'm looking for. And I feel like this random little poke of paranoia to pull me away from it. Every time I turn to that poke and I challenge it, I'm like, no, this is not real. That is something to celebrate. So I invite you all to do the same. Congratulations on how far you have come in your journey, and I'm excited to see what we are able to accomplish as a collective next. Sending you love, light, and inspiration. Stay inspired.